the signs, keeping secrets in my head, or any space you can find. Glad to see that I can help make your life a little easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Yeah, it tastes so good. Goes down easy. Never filling. It's Butch On Sports, boys and girls here. Welcome to the show. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Yes, indeed, Butch On Sports is on the air. 3 or 4 days of hard knock sports there that I had to be involved in, but I'm not mad with nobody. I'm not tired either. Let's get to some sports news that we can't get enough of here, and you may not can't get enough of. And the list goes on and on and on. Detroit Pistons last night, I think, is one of the more exciting games they played this season against a very, very good Toronto Raptors team. Pistons, once again, a sizable lead in the first half, only to allow Toronto to get back in the game. And DeMar DeRozan of the Raptors was just unconscious, and he was not to be denied. Blake Griffin played a sensational game as well. It's Smith, Reggie Bullock, Luke Kennard, who I've been speaking of lately here as being not the player that I would like to see, or maybe you would like to see, because of lack of playing time that he's been given by the Detroit Pistons, and the way he has been used by the president, not so much general manager, but the coach, Stan Van Gundy. Ashley Tolliver, who sometimes he feels like a nut and sometimes he don't, but in this particular case, he came out and played a pretty good game. They were 9 for 15 behind the arc, these particular individuals, and kept the game pretty much an exciting game. Andre Drummond, let's not leave him out, 21 rebounds in an overtime game that was a great game. It was supremely fun to watch. And all the players that were on the floor got out there and played a halfway decent game. Let's talk about DeMar DeRozan for a minute there. He's been in the news a whole heck of a lot. He just passed a week and a half ago maybe getting the Player of the Week honors. And he's also been very, very open about his bout with depression. And he's brought players like Kelly Oubre Jr. and also Kevin Love to bat with their particular conversation about their mental health, which is helpful, not hurtful, in the matter of people more for less, if they have a problem, being able to talk about it and receive the help that they need. Now, everything's not always in scroll, because we live in a country that sometimes seems like they have the answers, but no solutions at all when it comes down to making it decent or easy for someone to get help. However, this life goes on. Goes on indeed here. But getting back to the game, this was a very entertaining game. For Toronto, you got to see their staying power. You got to see players that you don't get to hear about too often go out there and give their all. And in this particular game, a 2-point victory by Toronto, it just seemed natural just to say, you know what? The Pistons could have went under the bus, but this particular game they did not. They played their hearts out, and they lost the game. Only if they played their hearts out the remaining part of the season and maybe, just have a point of view in getting into the playoffs or making it very somewhat, not so much sympathetic that they had just had a almost making it. You see, when you have good talent on your team, and I don't put that past the Pistons, they got some pretty good players on their team. But for players to come out and do what they're supposed to do every single game, every little moment to get on the court, there they are. Because there's many basketball players who feel that they should be filling those shoes that those particular players I just mentioned should be doing. No, this is not about pick a pen, a pocket full of miracles. This is about looking at where you're at and being appreciative. I'm going to use the word during the Lent season, sacrificing and appreciation, the gratefulness in it. The Pistons need to sacrifice and do better work. And in return, we as fans might be grateful. Let's move on. The Detroit Grand Prix is going to be talking a lot of stuff here, as many kind of vehicles leading up to the Grand Prix, which will be held May the 31st through June the 3rd. And as the months go by, we'll be talking about those particulars. Many type of expression, type of outings will be given to kind of lead up to that. So I just thought myself, is this not a beautiful world? And take part in that particular ensemble talking about the Grand Prix. This is something that has been a staple in leading the revision and revise the city of Detroit. To many people coming in now and investing money, making Detroit beautiful again, talking subjects on helping human beings have better lives, and the list goes on and on and on. So why not get ready for the Grand Prix? You as a fan, you can buy tickets. And of course, don't forget that free day that's been splattered in there on that particular Friday morning, afternoon, where you get to walk the park for free. Maybe meet some very successful race drivers. Take your family out for an outing and have some fun. We all love to do that. So that's why I mentioned Detroit's Grand Prix is coming. How about get ready for it? Now, tonight, the girls had their finals in what we call Basketball Superior. It is March Madness, boys and girls. And as a treat, it's Thursday night. The finals are upcoming next week. The finals for the boys, let's not forget, will be tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yes, they will be tomorrow. So you can get a great example of maybe some good basketball in the districts, as many of the schools are going to take part in, again, some good basketball play here, indeed. So let's not delay our time. Let's mention the winners, because the majority of the regionals are over tonight, and we can mention the winners of those particular regionals. or regionals, I should say. Let's start off with the A class, okay, in Regional 1, East Lansing, congratulations. Region 2, Muskegon. Region 3, Saginaw Heritage. Region 4, Clarkston. Region 5, Grosse Pointe North. Region 6, Martin Luther King. Region 7, Wayne Memorial. Oh boy. And region number 8, Heartland. I give those teams congratulations. It's time to move on to, yes, the B class here. And the B class as followed. Region 9, Hamilton. Region 10, Jackson Northwest. Region 11, Michigan Center. Region 12, Harperwood, Chandler Park Academy. Region 13, Detroit Country Day. Region 14, Freeland. And Region 15, Muskegon Oak Ridge. Region 16, Kingsley. Winners, congratulations to you, ladies. You'll be moving on to the quarterfinals. Without that further ado, we'll be ready for Class C. Class C, Regional 17, Schoolcraft. Region 18, Ypsilanti Arbor Prep. Region 19, Detroit Edison Public School Academy. Region 21, Peonia Westphalen. Region 22, Kent City. Region 23, Maple City Glen Lake. Region 24, St. Ignace. Congratulations to you. You're moving on to the quarterfinals. Finally, we do have Class D. Region 25, Athens. Region 26, Adrian Lennowick Christian. Region 27, Waterford Our Lady. Region 29, Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart. Region 30, Bel Air. Region 31, Gaylord St. Mary's. And Region 32, Chassis. Congratulations to you all. You'll all be moving to, yes, those famous things called the quarterfinals. After the quarterfinals are played, we have the old-fashioned semis to come on up. Those will be taking place in a different place indeed. We'll give you the location of that definitely tomorrow, Saturday morning, like we did last week, name all the district winners. All 120-something and change. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to personally here, without a shadow of a doubt. The Red Wings were playing tonight, and I don't know if it's good or bad or ugly, but the Golden Knights were in town. The Las Vegas Golden Knights, an expansion team, a team that many felt before the season started would have no merit at all, getting some players that teams just let go for some or other specific reason, via too high of a salary or just a player they thought was just no good. These gentlemen has blended together and given this league called the NHL something to holler about. And those fans in Las Vegas who are selling out every game and then some, something to cheer. Because that team, although that particular team is going to the playoff this year, and the Red Wings are not going anywhere. The Golden Knights were winning 4-0 as our last look with 3 minutes of change to go in the game. So it's safe to say that the Golden Knights are going to win that game. Thomas Tatar was in the penalty box at least twice tonight. So his name did get mentioned. And hey, I'm sorry that it got mentioned, but it got mentioned. But I tell you one thing for sure. We knew about the Red Wings at the beginning of the season that they were not going to be the team that we thought they were going to be, but we did thought a little bit more that they had some stay power, that some of those younger players will have grown up and given us a better run for the money. That has not happened. The Red Wings and the staff need a lot of work to do. And I'm quite sure this city is not ready to wait on its hands for 4 or 5 more years until the Red Wings decide that they become a better team. I know maybe a rush is for to save money, and that is something the Red Wings are knocking off. And so is the Pistons as well on this. Let's not say the Pistons as well. They're one of the more higher paying teams in the NBA and still have gotten anywhere. We already talked about their particular problem, and their particular problem is very simple. We got players who are not playing and putting out their all. We have a coach right now who is sometimes in fact trying to reach his players and need to do a better job in coaching them. It is very nice to say something about your players, and I'm talking about Jeff Blashill as well. But you got to be able to relate that in your practices, and they got to bring it out in the game. So, we're not so much alarmed with the Detroit Red Wings and their performance that they're doing, but we are alarmed about the Pistons and what they're doing. Let's move on, boys and girls. In a matter of days, the NFL will officially become a season to be reckoned with. When I say a season to be reckoned with, they're going to be a season again that has a lot of promise. Eric Ebron has been shopped around like a hog shopping around slop right now. If they go through the motions on the 14th of the month, and officially the 19th when all contracts are set up because free agency can now be signed, Eric Ebron will walk into $8 million that basically many people feel he has not deserved. Players like Ndamukong Suh, Richard Sherman, and the list of thousands are being named to being flopped off, traded off, or you know what, to other teams. Because those particular teams don't have the money or want to put the money up to pay those particular individuals those mega salaries and don't give their all on the field. And not saying they don't deserve it here, but the sports has overpriced itself in a lot of things that they have no business, being overpriced. And some of the outrageous salaries I cannot condone or I cannot say badly of, because you can't sit up there and get mad with someone what they make or what someone wants to pay you. And you agree to it. So, hip hip hooray if you're making all that good money. Shame on you if you're not earning it. We spoke of college basketball, and that's going to be one of the sports that's going to be really talked about over the summer months after this March Madness is over, because on this weekend, of course, they're going to talk about teams, Michigan, and Michigan State definitely going to be in the dance, and who else is going to be playing the play or walking the bubble line. We'll get to know about that Sunday as well. Yes, Sunday is going to be a big day for college basketball. And they said they were going to shorten the pot this year. In 15 minutes of the opening of the show on TBS this year instead of CBS, well, don't stop CBS from broadcasting, but we know ESPN is going to be doing their thing. And maybe some other sports conglomerates going to do it as well. So, you don't have to dive on TBS. You can look at ESPN or some of the other sports conglomerates and get that information. Well, maybe just look at your internet there and they have everything in your face. But they're not going to wait the hours and just drag it on out. They're going to let it be known who's in the conversation, who made the conversation in the first 15 minutes of the show. Now, I'm not saying they're going to show you where the seedings are going to be, but they're going to definitely know the 68 teams that's going to be in there from the 32 that have already made it on the automatic bid from winning their conference or whatever it may be, to the at-large bids that came on in there that they pick, and some or some not don't belong or do belong in there. After that, the NIT and the other doggone conglomerates will be picking those particular teams that they feel should have some postseason merits. Last year, the NBA, during the March Madness, and that's including the money they made in the March Madness, $700 million worth there, and some kid who basically their T-shirts or their shirts or their jerseys are being worn don't get one solid penny. Not one round nickel. And for that, there has to be some improvements. Even the NBA has gotten on the boat and said, you know what, are we contributors to this madness? of some of these kids doing these certain things wrong, or maybe a parent or two taking in a $20 sandwich lunch deal, and maybe somebody with an apple pie giving them a free one there because they're maybe their son or daughter's going hardship, and able to help the family, help their woes, and help maybe living a little bit better. The NBA ought to be knocked on their ass, and so do the NCAA, on how these kids are being treated while they make all this good money. You know, and I'm going to leave this alone after I just say what I got to say. You know, breaking borders is one thing, but when I was always taught charity begins at home first. You know what I'm saying? And when you can't donate money to school systems that need smart boards, need computers in the classrooms, maybe helping families out to live a lot better, be able to pay their gas bill, electric bill, maybe their rent. And where all this money is being negated and gathered up by these conglomerates. Again, charity begins at home first. And I just wish, and that includes Major League Baseball as well, that includes the National Football League, that also includes the National Hockey League as well, that the energy has been, and the money is being made in this country or this continent, be done a better job of helping human beings in general. Period. Charity begins at home first. Or as my mother said, you can't sit up there and complain about the world until you clean up your own backyard. And I tell you, we got a lot to clean up. Let's take care of some of our kids. Let's stop whoring our kids around, ladies and gentlemen. The way we treat them, we got to do a better job of embracing them, nurturing them. And maybe we'll get the respect that definitely needs to be deserved. Yes, you can listen to Butch On Sports on Facebook, boys and girls. You can check it out on Facebook. Go to the Butch On Sports page on Facebook and get the podcast all the time. You can definitely go to Podomatic, simplyButchToo.Podomatic.com. You can go to iTunes, boys and girls. And yeah, lately here, I get a lot of response from the website and also Podbean. Scott Nason, the game show. .podbean.com to see it here and get some whistles of the game, which I'm part of, that show, on Monday night. Lately here Tuesday because of playoff ramifications and all this other good stuff. But hey, it's that time of year. So we kind of excuse ourselves for, have to do the job to give you some sports news you can't get enough of, but we're going to do our very, very best. And I thank you for supporting all of us. Dave McKay, thank you too. Scott Nason, thank you. E.J. Russell, thank you. Yours truly, Simply Butch, thanks you. And all the other people who are around this particular conglomerate there, our statisticians, our electronic people in the studios, out there at WUPN. Yeah, I tell you, we thank you. Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Production. We'll do this again Friday night, Saturday morning, boys and girls, with some sports news you can't get enough of. Have a great evening, everyone.